Well, I've wanted to have the three of you on for a while, ever since I realized that you were all related. And because I'm super fascinated by the dynamic of family members working together in a restaurant. I mean, I kind of grew up with that a little bit. My parents have owned and been chefs in restaurants, grew up in hospitality. You know, when I was like 11 years old, my parents had a diner in Kentucky. And my homeschooling that year was learning how to like prep cook and how to wait tables, how to wash a lot of dishes, how to steal a bunch of quarters out of the cash register and play, you know, the pinball machine and all that kind of stuff, right?
We can steal quarters out of the cash register.
Yeah, but that was it. But that was a whole family affair. I mean, aunts, uncles, grandparents were up there. And so I was too young to really kind of think about the dynamic, right? You know, I'm 10 or 11 years old. I had my first cigarette at that time, you know. I'm not thinking about, I wonder how my dad and my brother are getting along. You know? But now that I'm older, I've thought about it. I'm super interested in that dynamic of not just father and two sons, but extremely talented these are my words, extremely talented, and from the Yelp reviews I read last night, extremely talented individuals, all three of you. I mean, from front of house hospitality, which I'm sure there's a hell of a lot more that you do, but from front of house hospitality to amazing hospitality coming out of the kitchen and extremely talented to amazing hospitality on the, you know, pizza oven, making this amazing pizza. 2-time award winner, best pizza in Syracuse. But I mean, what's it like? What's it like to be a family that's running this restaurant together?
I think the biggest thing with running, it doesn't just include family. I think it includes any business. You have to let people do their thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the father. They're my kids, but they're also, you know, like you say, you know, Noah's very talented, Alex very talented, Lauren's very talented.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not they come in, they do their thing. I don't. They're the chefs. They create the food, and I let them do it.
Yeah.
So I'm a control freak to a certain extent, but not to where I'm going to say, hey, listen, this is, you know, they're the chefs. They do their thing. Now, I was a chef. You probably don't know this, but I was a chef for 25 years in this town.
Really?
So I cooked all over.
Okay.
And then just in the last 15 years, I got out of the kitchen and went to the front of the house.
Oh, wow.
So I have knowledge of the kitchen.
Yeah.
In kind of a old school kind of Italian way.
Yeah.
You know, where they're doing, you know, a whole different dynamic.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't pretend to say that I'm, you know, I'm as good as them or, you know, whatever. They're very good at what they do. And you know, you have to let them do their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is very nice because he's, I mean, very well dined and very well eaten. Like, I mean, just like big restaurants across the country, and he's, you know, knows where like we like the food to be at the level we like to be at. So he's perfect somebody to like run it by, but he doesn't come in and be like, why are you doing it like that?
Yeah.
And also, I mean, we've been, like he said, he was a chef for 25 years. So I think that we're both very used to being in like a kitchen setting. And like, I mean, I remember he had Reggio downtown in the early 90s and the mid 90s. And I mean, I was there at, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old. My great aunt was there doing pastries. My mom was there washing, like it's always, like we've been around that so long that it's pretty like normal operating procedure.
What's it like having your own little section of a restaurant to do your thing in?
It's the best.
Yeah.
I get to be able to go in the back and have fun with the kitchen and do their thing, because the back of the house kitchen dynamic is its own thing, its own little world of chaos. But you also get an escape to where you get to socialize with customers, which they don't get to do that a lot.
Right.
So everybody that walks by, I have a chance to talk to or say hi to, or like when you come in, we can bullshit and go about our stuff, and then you can go to your table, and I can run back and forth from table to table, and it gives me a chance to do a little bit of both, which I think is good for me and how I like to. I like to talk. So, but yeah, it's nice, and I like your own little space. You don't have to. Nobody's touching your stuff. Nobody's anywhere near you. You got everything's how you want it, and you got your station, and
that's amazing.
And you're in your own. You really are in your own little world there, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's amazing to me the hospitality that exists, obviously in your family, especially, I know the three of you and I know Lauren, but it doesn't degrade down the line. The hospitality that you get from front of house, and from walking in and you're there, same from Alex, same from Noah, every single time.
So yeah, that's why I've been getting yelled at for 28 years about it, so I think I got it down now.
There's a reason he's in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you a yeller in the kitchen?
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
So
he was always quiet. She didn't say much. Just kind of
yeah,
done his thing. The first podcast he was on.
Yeah.
When he said he was going to do it, I said, "You're going to do what?" He said, "I'm going to be on a podcast." You don't even talk. How are you going to be on a podcast? And then when I heard it and I was listening to that, it's pretty good.
That's pretty funny.
Should get out in the front more.
There's a lot of things that I love about a mano, and like I've already talked about, the hospitality, the food is just, every time that I talk to somebody and they say, I try not to say favorite ever, but I say Mano is my favorite restaurant in Syracuse, bar none.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
There's a lot of better no, I'm just kidding.
Of course.
But it's my favorite restaurant because there's always something in there that we have, a dish that I've never thought of before. Not that I think about dishes a lot or how to make them because I'm not a chef or a cook, but there's always something where it's like, okay, that's different. It tastes amazing. The presentation is great. It's just, every single time we go in there, we're wowed by something else.
Awesome, thank you. I think, one of the things when we first opened that we were doing was we would have things like chicken parm or like Utica greens on the menu, and then we'd hear like, these are really good, but I really like them over at this other place. And I'm like, I don't want to hear like this anymore. I'm really tired of this. I'm like, I'm not going head to head on like who can make better Utica green.
Yeah.
Like I didn't.
Right.
It's not what I want to do.
When we were putting this together, they when I dragged them from Philadelphia to come back to Syracuse, I had to pay them off to get them here. But when they came back, part of the deal was, you have to let us do our thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been in this business my whole life in this town.
Yeah.
I know the way it works. I know what people like, what they don't like. And I was, when we like he said, when we first opened, so we have to have some of this Syracuse stuff on there, for lack of a different term.
Yeah.
Greens and some Italian American stuff.
Right.
So they did it. But then, to Alex's point, he's right. Then you're comparing.
Right.
The greens are better over here, and this is better over there. So then we made the decision to just do your thing. We're going to be different, and it really took. It took probably
2 years.
year and a half at least for people to accept, because they'd come in and look at the menu and say, well, where's the greens?
Yeah.
Where's the parm? Well, that's not what we are.
Right.
This is just and you tell people, just try it.
Right.
Just try something different. I promise you're gonna like it. And it took that long, and now we have our following that knows what they're getting into, knows that they're not gonna get the norm, the Italian American stuff, which there's a lot of great Italian American food in this town.
Yeah.
But that's just not what we're about or what we want to be about. And it took a while for us to get there, but we finally got there.
I tell people a mano is, if they ever ask for a recommendation, I say a mano downtown. I'll usually list like a mano, Eden, St. Urban, especially if they're asking for like a nicer special occasion restaurant. But I say Amano is my favorite because it's real Italian food. You won't find chicken parmesan on the menu. Like, that's literally what I say every time somebody asks what Amano is. Yeah. And then I usually say, no, you don't get it. They spent a year in Italy. So, I know you I don't know you from visiting and seeing you there, but I know the story of you, especially as the general manager at Avicoli's for years.
17 years, managing partner there for 17 years.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of involved there.
Yeah.
I kind of use the people ask me, because I go there every morning for espresso.
Nice.
Nick Avicoli, who was the founder there, and we have espresso and we solve the problems of the world.
Yeah.
So people say, why are you here every day? I said, listen, I'm the consigliere. I've been here 17 years. We just
Right.
come and we talk about the business and talk about what's
Yeah.
what's going on.
You still have your gun hidden in
But
the
yeah,
bathroom.
but that's that was a nice long run, and you know that's another great story too.
But you've got 4 decades in the industry here,
Yeah.
correct?
Yep.
So, I mean, how old were Alex and Noah when you were in the industry? Did they grow up with you in restaurants?
Yeah, well, like Alex said, when I was downtown before,
Yeah.
where Prime is now.
Oh, okay.
In the Gridley building, I had a place called Reggio,
Yeah.
which was similar to what Mano is, 25 years ago.
Okay.
And Syracuse really wasn't ready for that at that point. We were there for 4 years.
Okay.
It just wasn't working.
Yeah.
So
4 years is a good run for any restaurant.
yeah. So so we left. Our lease was up. We left that, and but they've been around. I mean, I opened my first restaurant in 1984,
Okay.
which was a diner.
Wow. Where was that?
Out on Taft Road.
Okay.
It's a diner called Old Geppetto's, and getting up 4 o'clock in the morning, making the home fries, and doing the breakfast lunch thing for 12 years.
How'd you get it? Were your folks in it?
No, I worked for my uncle downtown at a place on Warren Street.
Okay.
He owned the Brass Rail. I don't know if you know
No.
the name. Old timers remember it was a great little bar restaurant, and I worked there and just got the bug.
Yeah.
Went to college for something totally different. Started working for him. Then I went to OCC and got a degree in culinary hotel restaurant management. And when I got out of there, I went and bought that diner.
Wow.
And then I just been doing different things as the years go on. But they really got the first Alex anyway at Reggio, and then Alex actually worked for me at Avicoli's
Okay.
in the front of the house as a busboy. And Noah, when I consulted with Nick and Angelo's when they opened, I was doing a consulting thing then, and he actually worked as a busboy there. So both of them kind of started in the front of the house till they went to school, and Alex went to the CIA and started the cooking thing.
Yeah. Ooh, the CIA. That was now, what week at the CIA did they cover Utica greens and chicken rigging?
That was actually week 2, surprisingly. Yeah, you do stocks and then you go Utica Greens. That's pretty, it's right at the top of the importance list.
I've always had a massive amount of respect for 2 groups of people who are younger than me that have made more money than me, and that's partial respect and bitterness, and then people who have just opened a restaurant, who have just been, I wanted to open a restaurant, so I did. It just baffles me with knowing just how much is involved in opening and owning and running a restaurant. How people can have the balls to freaking do that is just amazing.
I told both of these guys when he told me, I want to go to, because he went to OCC first. Okay, what are you going there for? I'm going for, I said, just find something else to do.
Yeah.
And he wanted to go to the CIA. Find something else. I'm telling you, this is an awful business. And now it's really evolved with COVID and all the things that are going on now. But it's something. I've told people for years that, because I missed a lot of things when I was in the business.
Yeah.
I missed a lot of their stuff, sports and whatever, because you're
For sure, you're working.
It's just the business. And I've told people for years that this business is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And you either get into the lifestyle, you live the lifestyle, or you don't.
Right.
And to be successful, you really have to you have to live the life.
I think the moral of the story is that listen to your parents. He was right. It's a horrible business.
See, but I think you also have to. Now he said that to him when he said, "I'm going to go to culinary school," and he said, "Really think about what you're doing now. You don't want to do this," and he did it. So then when it came time for me I was going through high school, and it's I kind of think I want to do this. I did the front of house thing, and I did busing, and then I did some salads and desserts, and then I said I want to make pizza, so I went and made pizza. And I remember I have it screenshotted on my phone. I was probably 17 at the time, 18. He's in Philly, and I get a text, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, and it is foul-worded, miserable. Listen to me carefully. Do not do this. Go to school, get a degree, find something else to do, go make $100,000 a year. You will be much, much happier. And I said, wow, kind of cranky tonight, aren't we? And now here we are. I'm 23 now, and what the hell did I do? But at the same time, you know, it's a lot of fun. There's not a lot of jobs you can go and you can do what we do.
Yeah.
You know?
You're on every single day.
Yeah.
Every single moment. Yeah.
And it's playful. It's fun. You get to, it's the dynamic of it. It's a very social, you know, combative, fun job.
Yeah.
You know.
And you know, this for us, this project for us anyway, is not about, because I knew it wasn't going to be a hugely successful financially, because I know, you know, downtown Syracuse, the whole, I mean, it's just, you know, it's profitable a little bit.
Yeah.
Everybody gets paid.
Right.
You know, except for the old man, but that's you know, this is a passion thing. These kids are passionate.
Yeah.
You know, Alex and Lauren are just incredible at what they do. Noah with the pizza. I mean, it's just, so it's a passion thing. It's not about, you know, the days of saying, you know, I'm going to open this place and I'm going to make $1 million and I'm going to retire. Those days are over.
Right.
I don't care who you are, what you're doing. To open a restaurant right now, brand new, and think you're going to make a ton of money,
Right.
just not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're some celebrity chef or whatever. You know what I mean? But it's just not. And so this is a passion thing.
Yeah.
This is a, you know, let's do this restaurant. Let's do this food for Syracuse, something that's different.
Right.
And they're just passionate about it. And it's not about dollars and cents.
You guys are something I wish that existed more in, we'll call it just Syracuse, but you know, probably the world, and that is restaurants that are doing something amazing, are successful, at least I think you are, every time I'm in there it's busy, and who don't really do a whole hell of a lot of marketing. You're not posting every day. You're not doing some dumb video shoot. You're not running Facebook, at least I don't think you are. I'm not seeing them, and I'm your target audience. So I don't see any of that, and yet you're busy, and it's really exciting to see how well you're doing, how unique you are, and not taking that approach that everybody else is.
I think every now and then I still get like maybe we should, because I'll get questions and they'll be like, oh, where do you work? And I was like, oh, I work at Mano downtown. They're like, oh, I've never heard of it. Like, where is it? And I was like, it's just downtown, like across from the parking garage. Like, it's just a little restaurant. We just wanted to like, I don't know. In my head, I grew up eating Italian American food. I love Italian American food. I don't want to cook Italian American food necessarily, because it's very like turn and burn.
Yeah.
Like go to town, and like it can be really great. But again, going back to that, how many Italian American restaurants are there in Syracuse?
Right.
I would say over 40 in the immediate area.
Oh, for
like
sure.
Easily,
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, the suburbs.
And everybody, and most of them have been around for 10 plus years.
Yeah.
Without question. So everybody already has their favorite place. We came back to Syracuse with the idea that there was like a fair amount of holes in the restaurant market that we could fill.
Yeah.
I think we filled one of them at least.
Yeah.
So.
So what's, in business now for 3 years?
3.5 years.
3.5 years. And downtown, what have you appreciated most about the last 3.5 years being in business together in downtown?
Oh, I think, right, like he was saying, right when we decided to like say like we're done with the Italian, and like a lot of people started to like, I really liked how a lot of people we're starting to like, oh, this is actually like, I really like this. Like a lot of like the regulars so like we had Mackenzie at the bar, and he brings in like a lot of, like he brought regulars from, where was he? Attilio's, Osti's?
BC.
He was at Asti.
He was at Asti, but he brought a lot of like regulars from there, and we had Erica, who's a server from Avicoli's, and we had Nikki, who was a regular, and Mike. We had all these like, our front of the house staff is very, like a veteran staff.
Yeah.
It's not. We didn't have like a lot of college kids or anything. Well, in the very beginning we did, but they
Right.
very quickly. Like we ended up with a lot of veterans that brought a lot of people in to like have them experience something new, and I really liked how we could kind of like intermix with like the rest of the restaurant community pretty quickly. I think just from like the staff that we hired.
That's cool.
And it's interesting to get. You say downtown. It's funny to see people, because I was in the suburbs for 17 years.
Right.
And like he said, the front of the house staff that we have has been with us since we opened, and they've all worked for me somewhere. The whole front of the house staff in the suburbs.
Yeah.
So, but they have people that come, and people coming from there. They're older maybe.
Yeah.
I don't want to go downtown. What am I going to do downtown? Where am I going to park? What am I going to do? And with what just happened in the summer downtown,
Yeah.
a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, people, and I just tell them, you just we just stop. We
Yeah.
just, listen,
Yeah, I live
I just
on-
tell them, breathe, drive there, park your
Right.
car, walk a block.
Yeah.
God forbid you get out of your car and walk somewhere.
I had to park a block and a half away the other night for dinner. I was like, what the hell is this?
Right, and people have okay,
Right.
we'll do it, and it's nice to see that they're coming down,
Yeah.
and trying to, because people are just afraid of downtown,
Right.
They're used to driving up to the front door, getting out, and going in,
Yeah. In the
parking
having
lot,
their
yeah.
dinner, and come on, get in the car. I mean, that's just not the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I live on the north side. I'm 3 minutes from downtown, and I was talking to my neighbor. He's like, "Oh, what do you do?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm a chef at Mano downtown." He's like, "Oh, I don't go downtown." I was like, "Okay, well, you're like 2 minutes. Like, I can walk to downtown from my house." Like,
Right.
And it's amazing how much Syracuse has changed over the last even year, in my opinion. I mean, some of the people that I see, the types of people that I see walking around the streets downtown, how they're dressed, what they look like. If I see them, I'm like, what's that person doing? Like, how are they in Syracuse? Like, it's amazing how much the city has changed, and I feel like it's getting a little wealthier. It's getting a little bit younger. But it's just amazing to see these people that now live and reside in Syracuse.
I see it when I was down here 25 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nobody living downtown.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Right.
And now, I mean, just in our building alone, we have
Yeah.
130 people that live there.
That's amazing.
And then the people living there now. And I have said this to people, because people will say, "Oh, the people living down here, you must be so busy in your building and whatever." The people living down here doesn't necessarily translate into business.
Yeah.
Because people still work somewhere.
Right.
So they get up, they get in their car, they go to work, and they get done with work and they go do whatever they're going to do, whether they're going to go out or go shopping, and they come home, they park their car and they go home.
Right.
So it doesn't necessarily translate,
sure.
because I
Yeah.
have 120 people living above me.
Yes.
They aren't all coming down. We have maybe 4 regulars that come in on a regular basis out of all the people that live in our building.
There's a number of
So it's interesting
businesses,
with
restaurants, coffee shops who have fallen into that same thing of thinking, if I go into the lobby of this new apartment building, I'm going to be crazy busy because they're all going to need coffee in the
Yeah,
morning.
right.
And it was the complete opposite. I would be in so much trouble if I lived in the same building as your restaurant. I mean, I'm not kidding. I would just pop down all the time for pasta.
I mean, for you, he's got extra time. He'll run it upstairs. It'll be fine. It'll
Oh,
be-
really?
Yeah, whatever
so,
you
yeah,
need.
yeah.
We also
if you
have like
think about moving,
a
we'll take
super
care of it.
secret valet thing. You call me, I come park your car and
Really?
take care of it.
I was
whatever.
trying to get you to do valet last time you were on the podcast.
Whatever you
Everybody
need.
should do valet.
It's a private valet.
Right.
But he lived upstairs at a restaurant for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And he escaped. So don't let it fool you, because you'll be down there more than you want to be.
Well, I was telling Amanda and Mark, who were with us at dinner Saturday night, was you had a garden on the rooftop, and you brought out one of your special dishes, and which sounds really weird, but you brought out an extra dish for us for our table, and you're like, "Oh yeah, this is chilies from my garden up on the rooftop." I was like, Jesus.
Yeah. So, Lauren. So we had a 1-bedroom apartment upstairs for a while, and Lauren was really into. Lauren's my girlfriend, but she was really into growing, like, things with black lights or green lights in the apartment. So we'd had like 2 like regular big things. So she was growing things there, and then we went up on the roof, and then we went to his house into his backyard, tore up his deck, and made a 3-bed garden that we run things out of in the summer, which is
I have no
really
backyard
fun.
anymore.
He has no
Yeah.
backyard anymore, but he has
awesome.
free tomato plants and peppers. So what
That's
is
true.
What was it like for you, kind of cutting your teeth at some of the other pizza shops in town, and then now being able to be with family?
It was a journey in and of itself. I started with John Vigilati at Peppino's when I was 16.
Wow.
I wanted to learn how to make pizza, so that's what I did. I left Nick and Angelo's with him and the LaFleurs, and I went down to Peppino's, and I said, I want to make pizza. So I went and I did that, and then he actually came and did the menu when he did Pomodoro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Alex came, it was right when he, either before or after he went to Italy, but it was like in between. It was right after he came back. He didn't have a job because he quit his job to go to Europe, and then came back, and it's like, well, here, why don't you do this for a little bit, make a little bit of cash, and go from there. So we actually worked together for a little while. It was just a couple months, but it was fun. And then I got a call an opportunity to go to Fabio's with wood. So John's oven was gas.
Yeah.
It was wood styled, but it was gas.
Right.
And I got a call and said, do you want to come and do you want to run pizza out of Fabio's? It's all wood. You can go and you can do your thing. So I did. I went and I did that. And so after that, I was there for about 6-7 months, and I left and I went to Pisa.
Okay.
And it was I didn't even been there before I worked there.
Oh, really?
And they had gone, and it was, everything's great, you know, everybody's talking about it. Oh, it's busy. I said, all right, hell, I like making pizza. Let's go make pizza. So I went in there and I talked to Paulie, and he was like, well, what are you doing tonight? I was like, well, nothing. I don't have a job. I just got back. I went to Colorado for skiing for a little while, and I just got back. And he was like, well, why don't you come at 4:30, and you get a little trial run, and then we'll see from there. So I said, all right. So I went in, and they put me on stretch because I didn't know the pizzas and the whatever yet. So I stretched, and from 4:30 to about 11 o'clock at night, I stretched about 350 pizzas.
Wow.
And I said, wow, that's a change of pace. I was making 20 pizzas a night, and now I just made 350 pizzas a night, and I was balls to the wall, dripping in sweat, throwing dough in the air for 4 hours straight, doing nothing else.
That's amazing.
And it was a blast. I was there for 6 months, and Paulie's great to work for, and I loved it there. It was a lot of fun, and they do a good job. And then I got the call and said, we're doing this.
That's great.
So I sat down with Paulie, and I was like, because he told me, he said, there's rumors going around this town that you're opening a restaurant. Now that was when I started, and I said, listen, my father hasn't owned a restaurant since 1998. I said, as far as I know, there are no restaurants going on in my near future. I don't want to bring you on and, really put you to work and then have you leave me. I said, no, I'm telling you, as far as I know, there'll be no restaurant. 6 months later, Paulie, so listen.
That's hilarious.
So there's a restaurant. And he was more than happy. Congratulations. If you need any help, let me know. And we went and we got to work.
So what do you think's next for the family and the restaurant? You're going to have open up 10 more Manos in the suburbs?
Yeah.
No.
The mano only works the way it works now. We could never do it. We could never duplicate it.
You're not going to do like a quick service in clay or something like that?
You never know. I mean, maybe they are. Me, since, all
Right.
this,
Yeah.
I'm, like I tell everyone, I'm retired now. These guys are doing their thing. Now I'm.
Well, as a true Italian restaurant owner, when we walked in for dinner the other night, you were sitting up on the front on your cell phone. I didn't hear everything. I just heard, listen.
That's me. Yeah, I'm either on my phone or at the bar. But these days, now that I can't really do anything because of my health, it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
I used to be the expediter in the kitchen.
Okay.
That's what I would do for a few hours a night just to.
Yeah.
So I can't even do that anymore because of the heat in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So now my wife is actually doing it.
Oh, wow.
Is a funny story. She's taught for 35 years, retired from teaching. Now, I've been in this business my whole life. Never once got her involved in any of my business. So you're a teacher, you teach.
Yeah.
I'm in the restaurant business, I do my thing. You do your thing, I'll do my thing. The two shall never meet. But then when we opened this, the kids were involved, so she wanted to be involved because the kids were here.
Right.
And she retired. She retired 2 months before we opened the Mano. And so she came down, she does a lot down there. She takes care of the patio and the flowers and stuff and keeps it clean. And, about a month in, she just came to me one day shaking her head. She said, you've been doing this for over 30 years. You're out of your mind. This is nuts. I said, welcome to the restaurant.
Yeah.
So then when I got sick in the beginning of the year, I couldn't be there. She stepped her. So now she's the expeditor.
Crushes
As
it.
they say, she's better than I was.
Way better than him.
So
Crazy.
there, my whole family's kind of pushing me out.
That's awesome.
So we'll see what happens in the future.
Yeah.
Our lease is up there in a year and a half, and we'll see what happens.
Guys, thank you so much for coming down today.
Thank you.
And
Thanks for having me.
I got to talk to you for another hour or two at least. Maybe we'll do that one day down at the studio. Have
sure.
everybody down.
Always
Sounds good.